Good morning, grade threes. This week, our topic for our animal kingdom that we will be covering is endangered species. Now, you will be doing a project on endangered species next term, but this is just going to be a little starter to give you some ideas on what it means that when a species is endangered, and then you will go and find more animals that are endangered and come and tell the class about it next term. But those projects we will still hand out. For this week, we are specifically looking at what does it mean to say endangered species, which animals are at risk, and what does extinct mean. Let's start with what are endangered species. Many animals on Earth today are endangered, which means they are at risk of becoming extinct or dying out on Earth. These animals' numbers have become greatly reduced and only a few now live in the wild. The biggest threat to animals comes from humans. People are destroying animals' habitats, such as rainforests and grasslands. They are using these areas to support our growing human population by replacing these areas with farmlands and human settlements or houses. As humans take up more space on the planet, it leaves less space for the wild animals. These animals face a shortage of food and places to raise their young. Let's discuss which animals are at risk. Elephants, tigers, gorillas, pandas, blue whales. What do these amazing creatures have in common? They are some of the biggest, coolest, and most loved animals on the planet. They are all also endangered species. Unfortunately, one out of every 8 species of birds, 1 in 4 mammals, 1 in 3 amphibians, and 1 in 5 plants are endangered. Scientists estimate there are 7 to 10 million species on Earth. The sum total of all these species is called the Earth's biodiversity. Biodiversity includes an incredible range of living organisms, from centipedes to dolphins to rattlesnakes. Typically, only a few species go extinct over the course of 100 or even 1,000 years. However, during Earth's history, there have been some extreme events that have killed off large number of species. These events are called mass extinctions. Here are some examples of animals that are endangered. Asian elephants. Asian elephants used to live in low-growing forests all the way from Iraq to China, but people have taken over much of their habitat. Now only about 30,000 Asian elephants survive in the wild, less than half as many as 50 years ago. The hawksbill sea turtle. The hawksbill sea turtle is a critically endangered species. These sea turtles find a lot of their food in coral reefs, a vanishing and endangered underwater habitat. They lay their eggs on tropical beaches. But more and more of these beaches have been taken over for tourism and development. What is extinction? When a species is completely gone and not a single one survives anywhere on Earth, it is considered extinct. One mass extinction you probably know about is the extinction of the dinosaurs. A catastrophic event, most likely a large asteroid slamming into Earth 65 million years ago, created such havoc that 75% of the world's species went extinct. There have been 5 mass extinctions in the history of our planet. Unfortunately, if you look at the rate at which animals have been going extinct over the past 500 years and the growing number of species that have become and are becoming endangered, it looks like we are at the start of another mass extinction. In fact, some scientists call the time we live in the sixth extinction. What is the extreme event that is causing the sixth extinction? The answer is us, human beings. Most people love animals, but a lot of things we do as humans are not good for other species. Here is a list of the main reasons people cause other species to become endangered. 1. Destroying or damaging habitats. 2. Overhunting, overfishing, and poaching. 3. Introducing invasive species. 4. Polluting. 5. Taking animals out of the wild for the exotic pet trade. And lastly, contributing to climate change. By reversing these trends, we may be able to stop the sixth extinction, but it is not going to be easy. Here are a few animals that have become extinct. The first we will look at is the dodo. The dodo was a flightless bird that lived only on the island of Mauritius in the Indian Ocean. When European explorers landed on the island in the mid-1500s, they began hunting the dodo for food and chopping down its forest home. Within 100 years of its first contact with humans, the dodo was extinct. The Tasmanian tiger. The Tasmanian tiger looks like a mashup of a tiger and a wolf, but it is more closely related to kangaroos. When settlers arrived on the island of Tasmania in the 1800s, Tasmanian tigers were treated like pests, and the settlers hunted them to extinction. The last Tasmanian tiger to be seen alive died in a zoo in 1936. The saber-toothed tiger. The saber-toothed tiger was a compact killing machine, chasing small mammoths, giant sloths, and bison all over North America, until about 10,000 years ago, when it and many other species mysteriously died out at the end of the last ice age. The great auks. The great auks were once the penguins of the northern hemisphere, fanning out from Canada to Scotland, but humans started hunting them in prehistoric times, and by the 17th century auks only lived in a few areas, and were still a popular source of meat and oil to boot. The last great auks are believed to have been shot in Iceland in 1844. To save endangered species from extinction, their habitats must be protected. One way to protect important ecosystems is to create national parks, wildlife reserves, and marine protected areas.